Testing.
Hey, hello.
Well, hi, what's up, buddy?
Um, Not much. Just yeah, I've been kind of like I got a haircut and ready to talk. There were a couple of things I wanted to say beforehand.
Sure. Wait, real quick. You know
Um,
that I'm like live and everything, right? So,
yeah, I know you're live. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Just making sure.
yeah. But I wanted to say that there's a reason why I'm talking specifically with you, like with all this shit, and like it's hard to say because like I know there's a lot of people watching right now, but I really, I've heard like a lot of shit about you, and I want to have like a real conversation. And I feel like just there's like a few things that make me realize that like this is the place to be. One of them is the fact that Rose Malay was on here and she felt comfortable. And honestly, her feeling comfortable in any situation where she's able to talk is fascinating to me. And like, I really like felt like that could be, interesting.
Okay. I thought we hated each other. That I feel like that Rose Malay person hates me, but I might be crazy. Maybe I'm mixing up with somebody else online. But okay.
Rose is definitely doesn't hate you. I don't really know. Like, I can't speak for her, but
Okay.
in general, she seemed to be pretty like favorable, towards you
Hmm.
with all this stuff. Because like again, like you gave her a platform and a place to speak,
Sure.
and she very much like appreciated that and like an audience. So,
Okay.
um, but another thing is the fact that even like you told me like this is like what people are gonna think when you show up on the show. That like free assumption I'm realizing is kind of going to be very similar to what like my life is probably gonna feel like very soon,
Sure.
you know? So I thought that that would also be really interesting. And there was a third thing. Oh yeah, I feel like you're gonna let me talk. That was the
Okay.
other part.
Sure thing. Yeah.
So but I mean, I'll just be honest. Like, I don't know shit about you, but I just felt like I'm supposed to like just be here and be like, "Hi, what's going on?"
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I cover a lot of random stuff on the internet. Obviously, your stuff cropped up. I have no. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. What do you actually want to chat about or go over? What's the
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about everything that's going on because like I kind of had I just had like a horrific crash out,
Hmm.
and like everything seemed like everything felt like it was crumbling and like my life was ending. And then like by the end of it I'm realizing that I actually think that this is all like a good thing, like that I'm realizing that I kind of was miserable doing what I did, and
When you
that
say doing
like
what you did, was it like mainly like YouTube music stuff, or what do you mean by that? Doing what you did? Yeah.
I would say specifically like streaming. Like I was doing streaming and I was bringing in like a lot of money, and I think that it like really like messed with my perception of things.
Hmm.
And like yeah, I ended up like totally just like becoming really disillusioned and selfish. And yeah, I really like made this woman's life hell, during a lot of like the time because, she really just wanted to help me, and I constantly thought she was getting in the way of my success, and that like she is trying to hold me down. And like 10 minutes later, after like freaking out, I would be like crying and, just like confused. And pretty much what happened is like I went to rehab for like 5 months after like we broke up.
Hmm. Wait, real quick,
Um,
just a timeline so that I guess I'm following and we understand. The person you're talking about right
yeah,
now is your ex, the one that obviously you're publicly, I guess, feuding with right now. And then you guys
I'm
were
not
dating,
feuding with her. I will
or
say that like yeah,
sure,
like
not feuding with, but
this
the one that
is
released
it's
the audio and everything that you
yeah,
guys had the fight
exactly.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this was
Yeah.
what year are we talking here? Was this?
So we broke up last year around this time,
Okay.
and what happened is I ended up like making a video that was really, really awful. And
Mm-hmm.
like, just like the things that I said about her were just like truly horrendous. And I got like, I didn't even realize how bad it was because like I had convinced myself that she was trying to destroy me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, because like it's hard. Like she is someone who is she's like a real rare breed of a person like who actually genuinely just wants to do good in the world. And I feel like I destroyed that. And I keep like doing it over and over and over again, like even like a year after. And like I think that that just like caused me to just like totally just slip. It just, yeah.
Okay. What do you I have no idea where this conversation is supposed to go or anything, so I don't know what is there anything in particular I guess that you wanted to chat about that, or did you wanted to I'm just not sure what exactly what you're I guess looking for. Um
Well, I
yeah.
specifically am bringing this to you because of the way that you reacted to the video,
Mm-hmm.
which was like instantaneously taking my side on things. And like I'm realizing that like I am 100% in the wrong. And like I just thought it was important to like voice at least that. And because like it's
But for before you go too far down that road, so the when I listen to it, there are things that I feel like I hear that are things that I've either done or had done to me in the past that I kind of
yeah.
like feel like I understand. So obviously, when it comes to like public commentary on people's private relationships or even in friend groups, like people are very big on ascribing like responsibility or blame. I don't like the phrase like 100% wrong or 50% right or wrong because I feel like in relationships, like sometimes there are things that are like clearly bad, right? Like we shouldn't scream at partners, we shouldn't hit partners. Like this
Yeah.
is like never okay. But relationships are usually collaborative, right? Like both people kind of like build into things. And I feel like when people try to get into the world of like, was this person 60% wrong or 80% wrong or 100% wrong, I feel like it can get kind of strange. Not to say that, you should never accept responsibility for anything, but sure. But like, I understand what you're saying here in terms of like, obviously you're not proud of these moments. You feel like you were in the wrong for these moments. Like, I mean, that's fair. Sure.
Well, no, I like know what happened now, and the reality is like I just like threw everything in the trash, you
Mm-hmm.
know? But like also at the same time I couldn't figure it out until I did that because like I was so focused on my image, you know? And
Sure.
so
What do you mean when you say
it
like,
just like
you mentioned this, like throwing everything in the trash? Like, what are you referring to here?
I
What do you mean
mean, I just
specifically?
kept digging. I just was like, I posted the first video and it was terrible. And then like I just kept going and just like going by instinct with all this stuff. And all I ended up doing is um, basically she was already in a bad spot, and
Mm-hmm.
I just was like adding a ton of pressure to her. And yeah, it sucks. And I like what you're saying, specifically about like not playing the blame game, not playing the percentages game, because I feel like that's exactly what I was doing. Like believing that like, oh, I did this, but she did that, but she did this and I did that, and it just like I think made just everything so much worse because it's like, why am I always thinking about this? Why am I always thinking about her when, with what happened? So,
Sure.
yeah.
Do you like have like a therapist or anybody that you talk to about relationship related stuff or public related stuff?
Yeah, like I'm figuring that stuff out. It's like for some reason I just felt like I need to come on here and like just like talk about it, but like this is it,
Okay, sure. I only bring it
Like
up because it's good to have
I'm yeah.
like a person that like knows everything that's going on that you can kind of like talk to somewhat regularly, that has an accounting of everything. Like it's just nice to have that person to go to. And then there's a lot of unique stuff. I mean, life is already kind of unique, right? Like therapy is good for ordinary people, but then when you add the public dimensionality to it, things can become a lot weirder and more complicated to deal with. So it's good to have somebody who has like a full accounting of that you can be like really honest with and can give you feedback and everything too.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely think that I like lost track of details, and I will say that like the people around me were kind of trying to just like cheer me up because I was in like a horrible spot. So a lot of the times they would, tell me things that weren't true when I'm at like my lowest to like calm me down.
Hmm.
And I think that that also like really contributed to just like constantly feeling like I don't know what's actually going on, And I felt like when I was with this person, they were trying to like help me through that, but I was constantly believing that they were trying to change me, and yeah, it got ugly because my like I'm telling you, it just got ugly. It got horrible, and I really have no fucking excuse for it. And I finally understand that, like, I'm not being punished. Like, what's happening is not punishment for what I've done. It's like basically everything is balanced, everything is happening for a reason, and I like finally get it that like
Well, I mean, I would be careful about saying that. I think that having your personal stuff drug out publicly and then having a bunch of people like attacking you for the worst versions of yourself, I don't think it's necessarily fair penance as a public figure.
Yeah, but I also think as somebody who like actually does suffer from like struggling with reality,
Mhm.
it might not be the worst thing in the world to have like basically a reminder of like what actually happened. And people are not going to let me slip again.
True, but I mean, so the only thing I would say is like when people have issues with trying to sort through toxic situations in their life, like one of the things I think that's recommended that's good is you kind of like you write down a list of people that are close to you, that you love and that you think love you, and that you like trust their feedback on things, because you have to be careful when you're soliciting feedback or getting feedback from people on the internet. One, they don't know you that well, and two, the most important thing is they don't have your best interests at heart, right? So if you have close friends, hopefully, and you said that they were kind of downplaying stuff, or you feel like they weren't holding you accountable enough, ideally the reason why they were doing that is because they felt like you were in a dark enough place that if they were to try to like come down on you, like it would push you into, I don't know, a suicidal place or something, along those lines. So they have like your best interests at heart, and they know you the best, right? So they're hopefully saying the things that are responsive to your personality the most. When you go online, people don't know you that well. They have caricatures of you in their mind, and they're not saying things for the best of you. They're not trying to make you the best version of yourself or giving you feedback to help you get better. They're just trying to tear you down. So I think there's value in being able to sift through all of the online feedback to kind of look at like, okay, well, how do people perceive me? Maybe there's something off here. But don't ever like get lost in the world of living in the criticisms of people online who don't give a fuck about you and would just as soon see you off yourself because they don't actually care about you or like you or whatever. I'd be very, very careful of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really just completely agree. That's exactly right. I mean, this whole situation forced me to like I haven't looked at comments like Twitter. I haven't done any of that shit in weeks. The
Hmm.
only feedback that I've really received is from people who are close to me. And I think that's like why I was able to navigate this and at least like get to a point where I finally feel comfortable, where like I'm okay with what happened and I can just like move on and do better.
Sure. Yeah. Having real life friends and people disconnected from, I think, internet stuff is also very helpful because there's a lot of weird pressure online. Like, I don't know what your background, do you say how old you are?
I'll just say like mid 20s.
Okay. So I'm 36. It's so different because the internet has changed so much in life. But like growing up, like
Yeah.
sometimes you can have friends that give you feedback on things. Like even if you fuck up, like people fuck up, they make mistakes. But it's nice to have friends that can give you feedback, and their feedback also isn't being graded by every single other person in the world. And when all of your friends are very online, and when I say online, I don't just mean like they use the internet. I mean they're like other streamers or YouTubers or have
Yeah, I know
social
what
media
you mean.
accounts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're not just giving you advice; they're giving you advice in front of the crowd, and like they're getting pressure and everything too by a bunch of people who don't have your or their best interests at heart, and they're just trying to get into content or trying to farm it or whatever. So having people that are really disconnected from that environment, that's why I recommend the therapist, can be really helpful sometimes too.
I'm actually really surprised, like how much wisdom you seem to have like picked up, you know, like with doing YouTube. And I mean, yeah, you're like older than me, but I'm really just discovering right now, like still like what it is that I'm doing,
Sure.
and it feels hard to like do that and then also like have to be someone, that people look up to online, and it's a lot of pressure and it's tiring, and it ended up with me like yeah, kind of living uh like I wanted to be like a mental health advocate for people, and was like still just constantly struggling with my own stuff and putting stuff online that wasn't helpful.
Hmm.
That wasn't helpful to anyone. And this was just like another case of where I like really just needed to keep it quiet, but like I felt I felt confident, like, that like this was the right thing to do, to say everything, to just put it out there, and people will accept me. And what ended up happening is, you know, it's like the exact opposite, but also at the same time, I made the discovery that I never really needed them to accept me in the first place, and that is kind of the trap of this whole online sphere,
Hmm.
is that like you don't want people to dislike you. And I will say that like I'm actually glad that I get to experience like what it feels like to have this many people dislike me, because I actually can just turn off the phone and it goes away.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and then there's a balance because if a ton of people are disliking you for a reason, there's probably some good reason or some criticism to be found there, even if they can't say it well. But you have to figure out like the balance of how much do you try to appeal to people versus how much do you accept that some people just won't like you. Because to some extent there might be some behaviors that are just so bad or toxic, like, well, I should just change this because nobody likes this. And then there are other behaviors where it's like, I understand that if I conduct myself in this way, some people just aren't going to like me, but that's okay. And I mean, that's just like a learning thing. You figure that out as you get older, and you solicit feedback and you figure out what you're comfortable doing and what keeps the people closest to you around you.
Yeah, I like that. And I mean, like, if all of this didn't happen, like, I now, like, I'm spending most of my days, I wake up, I go to my DJ board, and I'm just making stuff for like hours. And I'm like on constantly calling friends and playing stuff for them. And like, this is stuff that I felt like those friends who I've made through this experience are people who I just saw, oh, these are like people online. That's where like my job is. That's where the money is. I don't really have time to even like try to build a relationship and trust these people.
Hmm.
And I think that it just like caused me to just think that everybody was trying to get something out of me, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like it's not good. It's just I don't know, man. Maybe it's just I believe that like for someone like me who has like suffered like with just like a lot of like stuff mentally, it's hard to have a platform and be responsible with it when I think that like I'm doing something that's noble, and when in reality I'm just like truly making a fool of myself.
Yeah, but I mean, like that. You said you're in your mid 20s. Like I imagine if you think of yourself like when you were 18, 19, ideally you were probably cringe as fuck. And when you get to 30, you're gonna look back in your mid
Oh, no, hold
20s.
on a second. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, listen, I
This
was
is
a fine, amazing. All right, I wrote a song called Jesus.
sure,
All right, never
but
forget.
personality wise and talking to
Yeah.
girls and do whatever else, right? Yeah. And when you hit 30, you're gonna think you're cringe as fuck at 25. When you get to 35, you'll think you're cringe as fuck at 30. Like it's just like part of growing up, right? It happens. The
Yeah.
only difference is it's on the internet for everybody to fucking see and evaluate in ways that most people don't have. Do you? I feel like it'd be good, like in dealing with this. Like, have you thought of making like a comprehensive, like once you've processed it all, like making a comprehensive statement and like, here's my video, here's my statement on this. Like, I'm
Nope, I
moving
don't
on.
need it.
You don't think so?
I don't need it.
Okay.
No, I know so. Like I know because the only thing that matters is that um my ex now is like the situation ended up really good for her. Like so good for her that like I finally felt like through the destruction of my image and my channel, she got like compensation for the pain that she felt, and I can, find a job or even just like someday rebuild it, but like as of right now, like things are balanced. And that's why I say they're balanced, because like they finally reached a point where she's gotten financial support in a horrific situation, and like I can finally just be like happy for her and just like say people are going to hate me no matter what, for this stuff, and I just care that like the circle of people who actually understand the situation, who were like a part of it, like if they get it, then I'll be just fine.
Sure. I mean, but you probably want to also you need to take care of yourself, like, as well, right? Not saying that you have to like tear other people down
What
to
do you
do
mean
it.
by that? Like, in what way? You mean like with the statement, taking care of myself?
Not well. So before a statement, so like in my opinion, we go through like tumultuous events in life sometimes, especially, I'm not trying to be condescending, but like as you're growing and learning, like there's just like the first time you have like a huge public fallout, the first time you have, like as a content creator, like a huge wave of hate or other people attacking you, interpersonally, sometimes ending huge relationships, dealing with addiction issues, dealing with, there's just like so many things in life. When these big things happen, I think it's good sometimes to like sit down. It could be with a therapist, it could be with a notebook, it could be with music, whatever the fuck, but to sit down and like write out like, what are your thoughts? What went well, what didn't go well? Do you need to change behaviors going forward? Like to like really process a thing and then kind of be able to move on to the next phase in your life without having a bunch of unresolved stuff that's just kind of always hanging out in the background that you didn't really properly address or handle. Like I think it's good to sit down and like really process all of it. And then this is why I'm saying in terms of making a statement, it would be nice to have something out there to where like, this is how you feel about things. And it doesn't have to be like, I'm detailing all my relationship stuff or whatever, but just something where it's like, listen, if you want to talk to me about this, you want to make comments about it, like you can go look to this, but I'm done with this. I'm moving past it. Like everything is solved with it. Insofar as like you understanding it personally, so that it doesn't just keep getting drug up over and over again in your personal life or public life. That's what I mean, like processing.
I'm okay with it being like brought up over and over again, because like at this point, I understand that like I can't control everyone, and I think that what you're saying about writing it down is exactly right. Like I think that that part is completely on point, which is like, I'm making music and like just like trying to like put myself into there, and like I'm making stuff that I'm proud of and I'm happy with. But like the reality is like this entire situation has taught me that like I need to stop trying to control everything, because it just ends up with me, either pissing off more people, or like wasting my time on people who will eventually like just
True, but there's
like, oh, yeah.
there's a difference between like saying you can control everything versus like you can control yourself. Like I'm not telling you that you have to like try to control the narrative about you, to control other people's thoughts or feelings about you, to control how other people are being treated, but rather like once you process everything on your own and you put out a statement just on how you feel about everything and that you're ready to move past it, like as a byproduct of that, things will settle down. Because I know you're saying right now, you don't care if people, drag it out. Maybe you're in some mode where you feel like you deserve it or something, but like you don't want to be doing music or collaborating with people a year from now and like a bunch of people are, typing comments like, oh, he's like an abuser, like fuck this guy, like don't ever work with him, or we don't support him or whatever. Like ideally you want to have room to grow.
To accept reality. Like the reality is like my image is tainted.
Yeah, but I understand.
I think it's better to like,
yeah, but
just
you can
in general like try to work with it rather than try to work against it.
True, but the way that you work with it is you want to work through it and change as a person and be able to demonstrate that change.
Yeah.
You don't want you are not a collection of the worst things you've ever done in your life. And if you don't do something on the internet to kind of manage your image a little, and again, I'm not saying to attack other people, but even like putting out a statement and moving past it and sharing growth or whatever, you don't want to be summarized as like the worst moments of your life. Oh, this guy, I know him. He did 1, 2, 3, 4 bad things, and like that's it, right? That's just, I think that's shit. I don't think it's good for your mental health either in the long term, but for anybody's mental health in the long term, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't really have much to add, because like there is like the core concept that I agree with. So, yeah.
Sure.
Like I get that. I guess for me, I just feel like I mean, I'm going back to college, and I'm gonna go try to do something else for a bit and just see, because like I never know. Yeah.
Going back to college for stuff like related to music or something, or what? Going back to college for what?
Yeah, film. So a film, and probably I might take some classes for music, but I'm excited to do that, and it feels like I don't know. It feels like a nice break, I guess. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's good. Just always be careful. Like there are good breaks, I think, and there are bad breaks. Like a good break is like taking some time away. Once you've created a little bit of space in time from an event, you can kind of look back a little bit less emotionally charged. Like there are fights I've had with exes where I'm like 1,000,000,000% in the right and I would bet everything in my life on it. But then like 2 months later, I can look back and be like, oof, I was being really stubborn or really stupid here. So it's good to put distance that way so that you can reevaluate it. But just don't get lost in the whole like running away from a thing and then never actually thinking about it or addressing it or, you know, trying to make sense of it. Yeah, just make sure you're always like processing chunks of your life and then learning lessons from that and going forward. Otherwise, you can get stuck in this like running away mode, and then eventually you're not going to be happy because you're not doing what you really want to do. You're just doing what you have to do to avoid, you know, whatever psychological pain exists in the last realm that you were occupying. You don't want to like overcorrect into a bad
Yeah.
direction, you know? Yeah.
I think that's probably for me a good place to stop, just because I think that like I think that you've said a lot of things that are wise and just all stuff that's relevant for me getting better in the future. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't really have much to add, and I want to thank you for just having me on.
Yeah. Well, hey, good luck, buddy. Yeah. Have real life friends to talk to. Don't let the internet define who you are as a person. And yeah, good luck with whatever you do, man.
All right, peace.
Bye. That was kind of random. I don't know what. I'm not sure 100% what he was looking to get out of that, but okay. I can't. It feels like he. It feels like he internalized a lot of bad stuff on the internet about him, but maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have like a personal relationship with this guy at all, so it's hard for me to say. Good luck. Good luck, buddy.